Ever wondered why, if an all-loving God exists, not everyone clearly sees his existence? This question is at the heart of a popular argument from atheists known as the divine hiddenness argument. What this argument posits is a seeming contradiction. It questions how an all-loving, all-knowing God could exist when there are sincere seekers of truth who, despite their honest efforts, remain unconvinced of his existence. The argument goes something like this. If a perfectly loving God exists, then there would be no non-resistant non-believers. If someone is genuinely open to the existence of God and is actively seeking him out, yet still remains unconvinced, then this appears to conflict with the idea of a God who is all-loving and desires a relationship with his creations. From this perspective, God's apparent hiddenness is puzzling. But here's the thing. This argument assumes that if God were real, his existence would be blatantly obvious to everyone who seeks him. It suggests that God should provide evidence of his existence that is so compelling, it leaves no room for doubt for anyone. Yet is this assumption fair? In a word, no. The atheist's divine hiddenness argument seems to imply that God's existence is contingent upon the disbelief of even one recalcitrant atheist. Clearly, this is unfair and unreasonable. Yet regardless of the apparent unfairness inherent in the atheist's divine hiddenness argument that weights one person's opinion of God over all others, is it reasonable to expect that God's existence should be so easily discernible for anyone and everyone like a mathematical equation or a scientific law? Enter Dr. Michael Egnor, a renowned neurosurgeon and philosopher who offers a compelling counter-argument. He challenges the divine hiddenness argument, asserting that God is not hidden at all. Instead, he suggests that God reveals himself in numerous ways that are accessible to the human intellect, and that it is possible to find convincing evidence of God's existence through careful observation and contemplation. According to Dr. Egnor, God reveals himself to us in several ways, including through nature itself. Let's delve into this idea further, exploring the myriad ways in which God's existence can be known as proposed by Dr. Egnor. Firstly, each change we witness in nature, from the collapse of one atomic particle's wave function to the blooming of a flower to the shifting of the seasons, is an affirmation of his existence. Secondly, every cause and effect we observe in the natural world, from the gravitational pull of the moon causing tides to the sunlight enabling photosynthesis, is a testament to his existence. Thirdly, the contingency of all things in nature, from the smallest microorganism to the grandest galaxy, is evidence of his existence. Fourthly, the degrees of perfection we observe in nature, from the symmetry of a snowflake to the precision of an eagle's flight, are a reflection of his existence. In other words, you can't really talk about degrees of perfection in nature unless there's an extreme to which those degrees point, and that degree of perfection is God. Fifthly, manifestations of natural design, from the intricate patterns on a butterfly's wings to the complex structure of a human brain, are indicative of his existence. Sixthly, every realization of possibility in nature, from the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly to the transformation of a single fertilized egg into a human, proves his existence. Seventhly, every manifestation of organization in nature, from the social structures of ant colonies to the ecosystem of a rainforest, is a sign of his existence. That is to say, objects bear relationships to one another, and to put this whole orchestra together requires an infinitely powerful, metaphysically simple entity, which is God. Eighthly, every abstract concept, from mathematics that governs the orbits of planets to the laws of physics that govern light, proves his existence. Ninthly, every reason for anything in nature is a proof of his existence, which is to say that everything that exists in nature necessarily has some explanation and/or reason for why it exists. It doesn't make any sense to say that something exists in nature and there is no explanation and/or reason for it. And finally, the 10th way, every twinge of human conscience, from the feeling of guilt for a wrongdoing to the sense of satisfaction in helping others, is a direct proof of his existence. All of these, every change, cause, existence, degree of perfection, manifestation of design or organization, abstract concept, reason, and twinge of conscience, collectively provide inexhaustible evidence for his existence from simple, everyday experience. You can read more about these 10 arguments in the 2021 article titled A Neurosurgeon's 10 Proofs for the Existence of God. Dr. Egnor also points out that natural science provides massive evidence for God's existence. The Big Bang, for instance, isn't just a theory about the birth of the universe, it's an astounding confirmation of the Genesis account of creation. The universe, according to this theory, emerged from nothing in a spectacular burst of light. Doesn't that sound remarkably like "let there be light"? But the evidence doesn't stop there. Astrophysicists have uncovered numerous physical forces and properties in the universe that need to have precise values to allow for human life. And guess what? They do. It's as if the laws of physics were fine-tuned to create a universe where we could thrive. This fine-tuning suggests a designer, an architect of the cosmos. And then there's the complexity of life itself. The DNA in every living thing is a code, not metaphorically but literally. It's akin to a computer code with its own grammar, words, and even punctuation. This code is so sophisticated that it directs the workings of our cells, driving the intricate and elegant system of biological nanotechnology that keeps us alive. Consider the marvel of cellular metabolism. It's a dizzyingly complex dance of molecules, orchestrated with precision, enabling the fundamental processes that sustain life. Every aspect of this system, every minute detail, bears the imprint of design. It's as if a master craftsman meticulously arranged every piece in this intricate puzzle. These are not random, chaotic occurrences. They're evidence of a clear, deliberate design, a divine hand at work. Each point, from the creation of the universe to the complexity of our biology, is further proof of a divine designer. So, as we delve into the mysteries of the universe and the complexities of life, we find signs pointing to a divine presence. Science, in its quest for understanding, uncovers evidence of God's existence, etched in the fabric of the cosmos and the blueprint of life. These scientific phenomena provide compelling evidence of a divine presence behind the universe. In light of these arguments, Dr. Egnor poses a serious question to those who uphold the divine hiddenness argument. He invites atheists like Dillahunty to reconsider their stance, challenging them with a thought-provoking question. What is it about God's existence that you still consider hidden? This query is not meant to provoke, but to encourage introspection and a re-evaluation of the evidence at hand. It suggests that perhaps the issue isn't divine hiddenness, but rather a reluctance or inability to perceive the divine in the world around us. Egnor's question urges us to take a closer look at nature, at science, at our own consciousness, to observe the myriad of signs and signals in nature that point towards the existence of a higher power. This raises a compelling thought. Maybe it's not about God hiding from us. Maybe it's about us learning to see Him. One might say, it's not so much that God is hidden, but perhaps we need to open our eyes wider to see Him.